Hi, Srijit. Hi. Start ചെയ്താലോ ശ്രീധേ?
Yes. കാരണം ചില സ്ലൈഡ് അപ്പം മെയിൻ സബ്ജക്റ്റിലേക്ക് എത്തുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് ഐ തിങ്ക് എവരിവൺ വിൽ ബി ഇൻ ഫുൾ ആക്ഷൻ.
ഓക്കെ, പിന്നെ നമുക്ക് തുടങ്ങാം.
നമ്മുടെ ഡോക്ടർ രവിശങ്കർ പർവാജ് സാറിന് ലിങ്ക് കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. സാർ തുടക്കം മുതൽ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യാന്നാ പറഞ്ഞത്.
സാറുണ്ട്.
സാറ് പക്ഷെ ഞാൻ ഇതിൽ കാണുന്നില്ല, എനിക്ക് അറിഞ്ഞൂടെ എങ്ങനെ കാണാവുന്ന. വെൽക്കം, സാറുമായിട്ട് തന്നെ അങ്ങ് തുടങ്ങാമല്ലോ.
Good evening, everybody. I welcome all the doctors who are attending this AMA APTA webinar from different parts of the world. We are very lucky to have Dr. Srijit SP, the most experienced personality in the parasurgical procedures as the faculty. I know him since last 25 years. He was my junior in Trivandrum Ayurveda College. During the college days itself, he was very eager to learn about Marma, Rasasastra, and all other traditional knowledge from different sources. He used to go to different places like Kanyakumari to acquire such different knowledge. He has been given training for doctors for the last 15 years. I welcome Dr. Srijit, my dear friend and my junior. AMA has started the series of training sessions to enhance the clinical skill of our doctors to make their clinic profitable. His class will explain how to do these parasurgical treatment successfully even in a small facility. The first class was just and through the next 5 classes, we will be able to practice all these treatments independently on your own. We are very honored to have Dr. Ravishankar Parvaji sir with us today to grace this program with his great presence. It's a privilege to have him as a moderator of this program. He is the one who developed the parasurgical practices in the simplest way and popularized it throughout the country. I welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome Dr. Vijaynath, the Professor, Government Ayurveda College, Tripunithura, who will coordinate this program. Once again, I welcome all the participants on behalf of Ayurveda Medical Association of India and invite Dr. Srijit to start the class. Thank you.
So we directly get into action. But before that, is my voice reasonably audible to everyone? I hope. Just testing.
Yes, sure. Yes.
Okay. So for me, the parasurgical experience starts with Dr. Ravishankar Parvaji sir. Whatever I am and whatever I hope to be, I not 100% but 200%, it is his training. And whatever the extensive programs of parasurgicals are happening in Kerala, it is totally because of AMI collaborating with Dr. Ravishankar Parvaji sir in 2010, and that made a chain reaction of things. So the full credit goes to Dr. Ravishankar Parvaji sir's training for us, who went to him in July 2010, and to AMI, who took the lead to organize in a bigger manner. So that's how the whole situation is. And I think now we will be getting into action. I'm seeing one by one our friends are joining. So let us get into action. And some of the slides would be quite known to you. But since I am aware of the fact that not every participant of this time would have attended the last one, so I take the liberty to kind of repeat it, which I typically don't like, but there is no other option, just to make them feel welcome to the topic. So I think, is the PowerPoint visible? I hope so. Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
So right, all good. So here, I mean, excuse me for the repetitions for those who are already been in this previous session. But then our topic is precisely parasurgicals, and that is OPD level. And why I use the word OPD level is because something to give an impression that it's not necessarily to be had as a full-blown hospital setup of IPD. It's something you can do in your clinic, and you don't necessarily need to have a hospital. And this confidence came to me because I started using it in government Ayurveda dispensary in a rural area to start with. So that gave me the conviction. And the word single-handedly mentioned because to a great extent, if not always, but nearly all the time, you can manage it without a helper. So which means you save the workforce, and obviously you save the what we call as the economic implications or obligations of having an extra staff with you. So that is why I use the word single-handedly. And just to let you know, I am a so-called medical officer in the government of Kerala, but currently on leave. So I have a special situation where I happen to deal with, engage with patients who don't even earn more than 10,000 to 15,000 rupees a month. And on a similar note, towards the afternoon, I engage with people who have come from different parts of the world, to be precise, about 104 nations. And why I use the word different parts of the world, many of the conditions that they did not have satisfactory relief, they got fantastic impact and relief by the parasurgical process. And that makes me eternally grateful to my mentor and mentor of many of us, Dr. Ravi Shankar Parvaje sir, because he gave that extra edge, that extra weapon, if I may use that word. So this is why I would say that it is very important that we are effective not only to the local population, but also we should be in a position to give relief and at least a substantial cure to those who come from outside India also, because not only we are representing the science of Ayurveda in our simplest capacity, we are also kind of representing our country. So that's why don't we start with an inspiring Indian? I mean, with him, I would say I was called up to his office for something, which I have spoke last time too. But the reason I show this here is for the message he conveyed to, of course, to me and many others Indians who have met him in person, which is simply only strength respects strength. So we need to be very clear about what kind of the strength we have, and of course what kind of strength we do not have. That gives a lot of clarity to people about our possibilities, and that's very important. And as you will see in the coming slides, every slide would have a direct meaning. It will, of course, also have a hidden meaning, and of course that will be easily discussed. So, I mean, as requested in the previous session also, please don't consider me as hyper nationalist or jingoism. It's nothing like that. But I think it's very important that when we handle something, we should have the passion, and we should have the the zeal and the enthusiasm. And for every work I do, I always make sure it's dedicated to somebody or a special organization, whichever. So this time I thought, why don't we dedicate it to the most unknown and unsung warriors of the Indian establishment, the Special Frontier Force. They work in conditions which are minus 50. Whatever is done here is dedicated to their great valor. So the next 1 hour, because typically I would be making sure that the most important part of this webinar session is obviously it is Dr. Ravi Shankar Parvaje sir's session as the moderator. My task is primarily to make sure that I present the topic. It's more of a Vishaya Avadarnam. That's what I would call my situation is, because what is more relevant here is to make sure that you feel the confidence in the next 1 hour. And I say the word confidence because there is a fair chance that the interns I engage with from different Ayurvedic colleges all over Kerala and a bit outside, the 19 Ayurvedic college interns, they are also participating in it in good probability. So it's very important that we get that impact of confidence to them. So next 1 hour, I hope whatever I would convey to you would be something that can give you a sense of conviction, to be convinced. And obviously confidence is very important. And most importantly, that you start considering the fact that let me start Siraveda from the very next day. This is the plan. This is exactly my intention. And if it serves the purpose, it is just fantastic. So here, as I mentioned before, in the previous session, a couple of weeks ago, I would not use one shloka. one theory portion here. Nothing from the textbook per se explicitly. It will be all videos and photos, and these videos and photos will speak. So this is somewhere for those who are from the Ayurveda College Men's Hostel, Pujapura. That's our second home, or it was. And this is Dr. Shivanand Thonde. And the first link of Siraveda for me started somewhere in 2000. Because the situation was like this. My senior, he is in Nasik now, and he was a Swastha Vritta PG, so not Shalya Tantra, please note. And the reason I say Swastha Vritta PG is that many people have the false notion that only Shalya Tantra PG can do it, but that's not necessarily the case. Even a simple graduate, when I use the word simple, you don't necessarily need to have a post-graduation, can also do it. So this gentleman, he was telling me of a certain incident somewhere in Dhule area, somewhere in Maharashtra. And he was telling me that he was in a certain outskirts kind of village kind of area. And there was a patient who came with a scorpio bite with excruciating pain, hell of a pain. That scorpio bite is notorious for its very severe pain. And he said that he gave him relief very quickly. So I asked him, Bhaiya, because that's what we call our seniors, Bhaiya, how do you manage that so quickly? What kind of internal medication did you give? XYZ, or what lepanas did you say? He said, boy, we don't have lepana, etc. Those times it came like emergency situation. I just took blood out of him. And he said that immediate relief of pain happened by bloodletting. So that really gave me, a kind of spark way back in 2000. And I regret to use the following sentence, but I have no other option, is that in the College of Ayurveda, Trivandrum, Siraveda was not happening, at least when he was telling me. So that really gave me a very interesting feel that I think that's something we must learn, or we must get more knowledge about. So that brought me to the simple next slide. It's very easy. It's just to get you into the topic. I'll be changing the slides in such a manner that you don't get monotonous. So there are situations where you may use 3 needles also. One is usually fine. So it's just to show you just a variation. This was in the case of varicose vein. Not that the impact lasts for a very long time, but usually it does last for 6 months to 9 months for most of the people. So again, coming to a different slide. And of course, the long-term objectives. And as requested earlier, all those respected doctors who had already been in the previous session, kindly excuse me. This is for those who are here for the first time in this session. And I have no other option but to repeat it same in the next session too. But my long-term objective, of course, would be to share all that I know, whatever little I know, and to empower at least 75% of this audience to start and perhaps to relearn what is already learned. And my important agenda would be, in all manners, Vaidya-centric practice. And when I say that, it's very simple to relate to it, is that many of the times the doctors are ruled by some other authorities or forces. Maybe being a part of a hospital, or they are being in somebody's payroll, whichever it is. If you want to give dignity to our system, it's very important that everything revolves around the Vaidya. Very, very important. The revolution should be everything around him or her. And why I use that word is simple, that it's very important we empower our younger generation to have a very decent level of income and status in the society. Otherwise, the enthusiasm to be in the practice would be much decreased. And I would be really happy, if there is any chance to have at least 10 doctors doing this in every Gram Panchayat. I mean, that's kind of quite a popularity that it can come into. And why use the word popularity? At least in the present scheme of things, all of us have network all over India. We all have friends all over India. When hundreds of Vaman Vasti are happening and thousands of Viraj and Nasi are happening, why does a very small percentage happen with the parasurgicals? So that is something. There's something that inhibits the doctors, or something that inhibits the patients also. So both these things we don't want to happen. So I will come to another incident. It's again somewhere 2002, and of course this is a repetition of what I've spoke already last time. This is somewhere in Pune area, and he's again a senior of mine in the Ayurveda College Men's Hostel. Many of us know him. So it was a scenario where he had been to his friend, a good friend of his, who was practicing the slum areas. Of course, he was practicing GP and not Ayurveda. And then what happened is that the friend of his was having a chronic eczema-like situation. A lot of itching was happening that particular day with him. So he said it was Diwali time, so that's why he had been to his home. He said, "Chalo yaar, tu abhi jaldi se thoda ghee kha le, usse pehle garam pani mein naha le, and have a quick shower. and bit of mithai was there, and a bit of ghee and mithai and mitha, and it was not exactly yavagu per se, which is supposed to be the classical method. So he said, "मैं तो अभी तुम्हारा खून निकालता हूँ. I'll take your blood anyway. It is long time, and I know you are suffering for a long time." हद हो गई. He just took the blood out, and number 8 needle. Such a black, frothy. You'll see those pictures. Such a blackish and frothy blood was coming that his wife said, "No, how did I live with such a dirty blooded fellow for this long?" That was the horror and the smell and the color of the blood. So, and he found immediate relief in the next 20, 30 minutes time. What that gave me the alarm or the thought was that why do we waste tons and tons of Padola di Ganam or Padola Mula di Kashayam or Manjishta di Kashayam? I don't mean that they are not necessary. They are definitely necessary at a long-term scheme, no doubts on that. But then why do we waste a lot of herbs in cleaning the blood? If I use the word cleaning, Rakta Shuddhi, when we have an easy possibility that the bad blood can be eliminated. So why don't we have the Shuddhi done in a smarter way? And it saves time, saves resources, and obviously it saves money of the patient too. And on top of that, the best of it, the result is very fast. So this really gave me the further interest and enthusiasm that somehow this has to be learned. But again, I regret to say, way back in 2002 in Ayurveda College Trivandrum, which is the oldest, perhaps the oldest, or maybe the largest too in the world, was not doing Siravedam to the best of my knowledge, because we had very good relationships with our PG scholars, seniors. So otherwise we would have known anyway. So I'm not being critical about it, but I'm being very upfront. It may sound a bit radical. That's not my intention. So that gave me the idea, let us save money and time and let us enhance the results by a shortcut that can be Siraveda. So again, as I said, that I'll be deviating from the subject. It will be medico, social, economico, financial kind of presentation. And why I'm quite interested in this propagation aspect is that there are some current realities. The limit of income by just prescription, how much can somebody make? The margin, the percentage from the agency, how much you will get. And then we have competition between the genuines and the quacks. As we understand, nearly 50,000 or so are not registered or not qualified. I won't say the word doctor, but you may call it Vyaja Vaidyan or whatever you may call. So we have a competition to excel in a very special and very what we would call as a tricky environment of clinical practice. So we definitely need to empower our young doctors who are coming out of the academy so that they feel secure and they feel confident too. And why use the word 5 to 8 to 10 years? This slide, the third point, third and the fourth point, I would say the entire slide I owe it to my senior, Sadat Etan, Dr. Sadat, who told me about this reality of how he had made a survey based on his resources and how we found the struggling phase of a young doctor. So we can't forget that. And how do we make sure that they have a decent income wherein they are not dependent upon any extra staff and they feel the impact very quickly. So parasurgical is one such method where you make good money, but not only that, you make good name, and most importantly, you make good impact. That is the most important. The remaining other things will automatically follow anyway. And again, these realities of 5, 8, and 10 years of struggle that most doctors have. And of course, the government doctors have the comfort of regular income from the government of Kerala or India, whichever. And the agency ownership, unless you have it, how do you make this a decent amount of money that would make you feel privileged and also importantly make you feel comfortable with your profession? Very, very important, because I have seen engaging with these doctors of 19 Ayurvedic college youngsters, I find a lot of depression, anxiety in their minds going through about the future. So again, as I mentioned before, for me, parasurgical starts with Dr. Ravi Shankar Parvaje sir. His phone number is there at the bottom of the slide. And he's our mentor, as simple as that. I would say as simple as that. If that was not for his training that we received in July 2010, you see in the middle, Dr. Sajeev, CB Sajeev, retired DMO. You see Dr. Rajesh Kaimal. And obviously the Baldi in the picture is me. That is 2010. And he gave us very fantastic insights and confidence. Just that one day with him about Siravedam, about Chara, Karma, and Snehagni Karma. So that is unforgettable. I think today, after crossing communicating to more than 7,500 doctors in these many years' time, it all started from his clinic in Dakshina Kannada, it's Puttur, south of Karnataka. This is totally dedicated to him. So again, we have some questions. Again, I said this is a kind of repetition of what was last thing. Why it is not popular? So the first thing is that there are inhibitions among doctors. Can I do it? The golden rule in the world of parasurgical is that if Srijit SP can do it, be assured anyone can do it and do it better than him. This is a simple golden rule. And I know that very well. I am not a very mechanical fellow and my mechanical skills are not really great. I know very well. But if I can do it, dear young doctors who are younger to me, I can guarantee you, you can do it better than me. So that is the simple thing. So let us not have any inhibition. When it comes to among the public, the inhibition, when you start something new, well, new for the society, but not new for Ayurveda, there's always apprehension. And there's a big political drama that happens from the allopathic system. They say this medieval age treatment, they say the Enguilata Chikitsa, and they will blame so many things. And God forbid, if something goes wrong, they manipulate it. So you have to compete with their negative publicity also. So this is very important. If you ask me about parasurgical per se with Siravedam, it's a simple piece of cake. It's as simple as to do that, simple piece of cake. But to convince the patient, and more importantly, to protect the psyche of the patient from being not maligned by the negativity and the wrong and unethical, behavior from the allopathic doctors is the biggest challenge that you will face when you start doing it now. That's what I had in the beginning, but it could all be taken care of because our intention is good. So the impact is good. So this is the reason the inhibition I have found. And the most tricky thing is that the lack of awareness and confidence to when to do. Okay, which stage of a clinical condition is what you are going to do this parasurgical. This is the tricky thing. And of course, how to do is also very important. And most importantly, which site you would prick. So these are the things which are very, very important to be taken care of. And we will come to that easily. As I mentioned before, this presentation will not have any shloka at all. This won't be any theory, but then you will definitely feel quite comfortable towards the end of the session. So here we have a screenshot. This is from my website, and till last week, there are about 6,000 odd subscribers to it who are into it. And you see 222 likes and 147 dislikes. I care a damn for that because we are doing something authentic and we are doing something very genuine and honestly as per the Shastrokta protocols. So no doubts on that. Why use the word 147 dislikes? This is a classical example where somebody or the public is not convinced of a certain condition. And you see there are nearly 2 lakhs people, nearly 2 lakhs, short of just 3. This is more than 10 days ago, this PowerPoint was prepared. So I have not seen what is today, but it's nearly 2 lakhs people who have seen this. And it's a man who is suffering with gout on and off for last 15 years. And the gentleman, he had such a bad situation that no painkiller, nothing was helping him. And he took the confidence to come to Ayurveda. And the process of Siraveda was done. And in his case, he even refused to have Kshira Vagu. He said, I'm so hell of pain, don't tell me anything. That was. I said, okay, fine, take it easy. And his Siraveda is done in the mid-air. He couldn't even pound his leg properly. You see the blood stain, whatever, after cleaning it up, is then only he decided to pound it. It was such a bad situation of pain. And the result was so immediate. In spite of having the proof of an immediate feedback, you see the public mood, they definitely do not get convinced about it. So this is the challenge that we have. That unless we get the public convinced, it's very difficult to get a candidate for Siraveda. And on top of that, the confusion in the internet and the bad publicity and the foul mouthing by the allopathic doctors doesn't help. So this is where you have to prepare yourself. And we'll come to that. We have solution. Again, sorry for the repetition. Virendra Sehwag, those who used to watch Indian games, one of the most dangerous opener in the Indian or rather world cricket history. The reason to put up him here is very simple. When a patient comes to you, you need to make the immediate impact. And this gentleman had the dangerous or the enviable reputation of sending the bowler for a 6 or a 4. First ball chakka or first ball chauka for sure. Maybe next 2 balls also in the world of cricket. And that's how he would dominate the psyche of the bowler or the opposition. And that's what you also need to do with your patient in a very positive and friendly manner. The domination of the psych is very important. Otherwise, they don't agree to parasurgicals that easily, unless they have an experience from their own family or friend. So, but for the first time, so this is very important to give the impact very, very fast. I remember Dr. Parvaji sir teaching us how most of the patients of sciatica, unless it's a oncology situation, he would admit them to get a therapy protocol for about 12 days or so, and he will start first day Siravedam, and then only Sadhya Vaman and Sadhya Virachan. So that is the impact it gives. That's very important. So we just have to figure out how to do it. Now, again, the possibilities. I owe this slide to Dr. C.B. Sajeev sir. I owe this slide to Dr. Ravishankar Parvaji sir. I had called him many weeks ago, and everything compiled. What has been found easily that nearly there are about 40 to 50 different clinical conditions which are not satisfactorily managed by allopathy, with all respect to their efforts. No doubts on that. So there we have an edge and we have a possibility, and that's what we have to earmark. And then, of course, the cost is decreased when you don't necessarily give a patient a lot of medication internally to be used, because most of the work is already done by the parasurgical. Obviously, the cost is lesser. And that is always encouraging to retain the patient, which is also very important. And 50 to 70% faster relief is always welcome. And this brings to the point when people say that Ayurveda is not fast, I will humbly disagree based on whatever experience I had, thanks to the trainings of my mentors, and also my own direct experience, whatever I had, and also the experience of many of my friends. So Ayurveda is very fast when it can be very fast. Obviously, for a chronic,
thanks to the trainings of my mentors,
you can't expect the pain to be lesser the next day or two. It takes its own time. We understand by that easily. But if it's infective and inflammatory, the response is very, very fast. All of us know that. So that impression has to go to the patient. And that's why the quick relief obviously is common sense to be having it as simple as that. And that patient retention, very, very important, so that you are able to complete the task that you had decided to do for him or her. And again, the last point I owe it to Dr. Ravishankar Parvaji sir himself. And because, there is always a feeling that if somebody is, how to say, doing the parasurgical, that sarva roga samhari, that everything is done and set. But that's not the way it is. You have to condition and process the expectation of the patient very clearly. You have to tell very clearly that, boss, instead of going in a vehicle in second gear, third gear, let us go by fifth gear. And it's also very important to communicate to them that this will augment the process of healing faster and more effective and deeper. So that's why I put the word T20 cricket match kind of, wherein it's a short thing, but it has impact. But obviously, the cure of the disease, panchakarma, or following up medications and OPD level is always important. So let us make sure that the patient gets that de-escalation of the expectation and has a realistic feel of what is waiting for him or her. This is very, very important, because I've had many doctors who have told me that, yeah, I did Siravedam. The impact was there for 3 to 6 months time, but it reoccurred. Okay, doctor telling is fine, but imagine if it's told by a patient. That may lead to a disconnect between you and him or her. So it's very important that we condition that aspect. So again, this is another, as I mentioned to you, we'll have pictures, we'll have videos, we'll have different, what we call as PowerPoints of various nature. The first idea of supraclavicular spot happened in a case of scleritis, and that is Dr. K. Padmanabhan sir. You have his number there, retired DMO. One of the mentors of mine. I'm so grateful to him. He was telling me how a case of scleritis, like not responding to steroids, a lot of itching, and a lot of other difficulties of the eye. He got the supraclavicular done, and the relief was fantastic. Where the steroids were not making the impact. I have not done on myself at all, but I know Dr. Sunil sir in Ayurveda College Trivandrum. I think he's still in service, Shalaka department. He does it very regularly. So I thought something that I can't show as a video here, I should definitely mention of 2 faculties. And that's why I thought we should be knowing that it is definitely possible, even supraclavicular too. It's a possibility, no doubts on that. But again, no, you have to be very clearly getting your all the concerns and every such details. That's very important. So anyway, we have the best agenda that we would like to break the inhibitions and to encourage everyone to start. And if possible, support in the long run. This word is very, very important. I really wish to support all those who are interested in it in the long run. And I think if we can change or rather continue, channelize the one person trains the another. That would be fantastic service to our community and to our society also, not only Ayurvedic community. This is my long-term agenda. The third one, support in the long run. How exactly? I will be showing you very soon. Again, just a deviation. You see different shades of color, the blackishness, and the importance of all those things. Dr. Ravi Shankar Parvaji sir would be definitely communicating. I'll rush through the entire process to make sure that it is conveyed as quickly possible. You see the frothiness, you see the blackness. It's so easy, and I show this posture in such a manner that when you do it, there are many situations where the person may faint looking at the blood. So typically, it is always best that you blindfold the person, which not everyone is comfortable about. I understand that, or at least make sure that the legs are hanging from the edge of the desk, so that even if the person is lying down, he is still comfortable that something is happening. And even if he faints or she faints, that they're still lying down there. This is very important. And I've realized sometimes it is best to give Dhanvantram Guliga even to the bystander sublingual, because sometimes the bystanders faint off, not the patient. So that's also something to be taken care of. It also happens with young interns who are not comfortable seeing blood. So simple things. So now we come to the specific topic of the minimum requirement. Tonic, all of us will have lifetime investment. A Torth is also fine if you need to do it urgently and quickly. Kidney tree is best, obviously, but a mug is fine too. I mean, not glamour, not very professional, but then if you need to do it urgently somewhere, you better have this minimum. And then, of course, the number 18 veterinary needle is what we go through, that based on the training from Dr. Ravi Shankar Parvaji sir. But there are doctors who use butterfly, which is also fine. But then the best would be number 18, because the gauze, lumen is wider and more blood is coming and for a longer time. So that is how it is. So this is a minimum requirement. This is why I wanted to convey Siraveda means as simple as a torth or a mug or a needle. Simple as that. I really wish if I had this feeling when I was final year in 2000. 20 years ago, if I had this presentation, I would have been very happy that I could have influenced lives of people for the next 10 years before I really learned it. So I really hope those who are youngsters at the age of 23, 24, 25 now, that you can start things we started a bit late, if I may use that word, with utmost humility, and I have no shame to acknowledge that. So mechanism is simple. We need the best of the academic excellence for our doctors. And I'm waiting for a stage where I think nearly 200 people are there. So let us get into a video of that. I was waiting for some people to just log in. So our example would be to get the academic excellence for our doctors as much possible. And then let us try for a financial smartness for our doctors. Very, very relevant. I'm looking at my phone just in case I don't become visible or audible. I'll be happy to receive the call. I put the phone on online mode from the organizers, any call coming SOS. So anyway, the financial smartness is very important. And so it's a socio-medical impact. So this is very important word. Why I say that, the real potential of Ayurveda is perhaps still not explored by the Ayurvedic doctors themselves. So if they don't realize it, how do we bring it to the public, to the society, and to our country, our nation, and even the world by and large? So the medico-social impact is very important with these parasurgical process. So I see number 200 figure in the attendance. There you see a yellow tinge to it, somebody's blood. Sometimes only this much blood may come, but I found them, they still find the relief. It's not necessarily that every time we may get 180 ml or even double of it. But then even with sometimes 15-20 ml, people say relief. I hope they really mean this when they say relief, because that's what they say, or maybe they're not interested to do it again. They say, chalo, I got the relief, no, just spare me. It's also a possibility, because sometimes it is the what we call as the bystander's family who insist more for this process than the family person per se himself or herself. So we'll go for a short break, and the short break is, I'm still on. I just want to deviate and halt for a while. This website already, nearly 7 lakhs have been spent in the last 8 years' time. And I'll be really happy if you all can make the best use of that. And how exactly, I'll just be getting into this certain video just to make sure that we are half an hour into it now. So in the next half an hour, I hope to show across 3 simple videos. And I hope we did the trials and it was working. Can anyone confirm to me that you can see what I see on my screen?
Yeah, we are able to see the video.
Let me see the chat if somebody can confirm.
The window is small. We are able to see the video, but the window is
okay. I'll make it bigger. Yeah, maybe it's better now.
Better now. It's better now.
I hope it is okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
So I prefer every year to do Siraveda on myself. It's always nice that you are the example for the patient. So a follow-up of a Snehapana somewhere in the month of September, October, the Sharat Kala. Well, Kerala is kind of rain and heat, but then I have a fairly decent lifestyle and habits, and I do all possible best things somebody who wants to be healthy does, physically, emotionally, everything. But then you see the black color of my blood. I mean, this is mainly.
This is a treatment called Siraveda. This is one of the foreign guests. There are more than 100 indications for bloodletting in Ayurveda. And this is one of the simplest methods of performing the Siraveda process. The amount of blood could be varying to many mLs. Could be as low as 50 ml, could be as high as 180 ml, even 300 ml. And stop here.
I mean, this is just an example to get into the process. So it is so simple. Is something that a lab technician can also be able to do it. That's my take on this. So let me see if I get back to that slide properly. And there are a few fallacies in that. One is that, first of all, we have to make sure that we have this narration to the patient very clearly done. If you have your own video, that is the best. If not, at least you can use some video that is already available, because the patient would ask you invariably what to expect, how much blood will come, what symptoms will come down. So these things are quite to be answered. Otherwise, they don't get convinced. So now we get into, I think I am okay with it. I hope. So this is how you will see the website, because very important to support you in the long run. That's what my intention is. So this is going to be 1.5 minutes, this video, but this tells you how exactly you can get in the website. And as mentioned, I'm not talking any theory because it's already in my website, review of the literature. And so everything is there. Everything is there. And this will be played again because I know not everyone is throughout. Somebody would join later in this. I know that. So this will be played again. So no problem. And then this is how you will realize in the website, there is a case sheet there that prepares you much before the patient comes. Pre-procedure material, after procedure, everything is there. There's a checklist for you to be ready about all those things that you need. And later on, you have to make sure that there is, I mean, the teaching thing is for the sake of the young doctors that I had created. So there are examples of many cases that were done in the government sector. And then you have something called submit work. I always make sure that there is always an allowance to work and learn more. So the website has a portion where anyone interested can contribute, which will be duly acknowledged. And that's why I would say that it's important to see. These are different conditions where it was used, different conditions. So it's all there in the website. I don't have to show you entire thing. And now you know that how you can use my website. It's very important that I become irrelevant to you as early as possible. because wherever I'm invited for any kind of class or whatever it is, I make sure that I am not needed there anymore as early as I can, be in that reality. So I think, let me get into that. Yes. So here we come to some specific examples. So now you have seen the website, how it can be utilized. And we are halfway. Actually, the 41 is a number of slides here. We are halfway already. It's 8:41. In the next 20 minutes, I will clear it up. So the reason I'm communicating here is that it's very important to be very precise. You need to have the case sheet. You need to have the checklist. You need to guide the patient very clearly. It should be felt like an exercise by itself. A patient should feel that yes, something is major is happening. And the investment for you is ₹2 for the needle, number 18. Tourniquet and kidney tray you have to keep with you lifetime anyway. And there's no harm if you charge ₹250 also. An unhealthy pizza would cost ₹600 anyway. So why don't you charge ₹300? You are still at a good profit. The patient also feels good. And one cinema ticket would cost ₹200 anyway in Kerala, in most of the places. So you can make sure that you give that sense of the value of money in the entire process. So that brings me to the point of one or two examples. And because how it is to be done, you have seen. You have seen the method on the case sheet kind of scenario. And these are many of the indications. I owe it to Dr. Ravi Shankar Parvaji sir. I owe it to my senior Dr. Sajeev sir, CB Sajeev sir, retired DMO. So the list is long, but I think I should take not much time explaining this. I can always come back to it. The most important portion of this discussion is the session of Dr. Ravi Shankar Parvaji sir. So I am not getting to much details of it. If there is any way there is some time available, I would come back to this example of varicose vein, which is not final cure for it, but nevertheless, a case of recurrent abscess all over the body, not responding to all the Manjishtadi, Padoladi, whatever. A case of whole body itching, not responding to any kind of Kushtara treatment. Obviously, we keep the idea of when somebody is telling whole body itching, we will keep some lymphomas in our mind. No doubt, we'll keep oncology in our mind. We don't forget that. But typically speaking, we just go by the commonly found clinical conditions or challenges that we face. And a case of chronic severe body heat and multiple things are there. But these are just few examples because even though we may have more than 100 indications about Siravedam in our classics, ultimately it boils down to what is practically seen today as a symptom or a clinical presentation the patient brings in. So this is why I thought, let me modernize the Ayurvedic aspect like that. So, but we'll get into this. Again, somebody's blood. As I mentioned, I'm trying to deviate you as much as I can to get into the topic and off on. And here you see somebody, such is the color of the blood. So black. And people don't believe unless this. And in this case, if you see, it is very sticky also. And when the blood is gone from the system, when the bad blood is gone from the system, the the good quality blood is dribbling, posterior to the, you can see, rather anterior to the Achilles tendon. And that's how we find that, okay, it's time to stop because the body knows how much bad blood to be brought out. This is what is happening. Again, the value of time is very important than money. Because in these days and times, time is more precious than money. That's what we all prioritize it. So we need to teach our young doctors in the academy the concept of the value of money, time, and faith a patient invests on you. Very important. Like in Dakshina Kannada area, that's the impression and that's the knowledge I have. If it is acute stroke, the first option is Dr. Ravi Shankar Parvaji sir's clinic. Simple as that. That's a reputation he has got out of his hard work and thoroughness in his professionalism. When it comes to sciatica, people know in 12 days' time, most of them are going back fantastically improved. And can you imagine? I tell this example to our Kerala doctors. Instead of taking a lot of time for 21 days and more, if we can make it shorter and quicker, why not? That's the value of the time that we need to be training our young doctors. Of course, faith is very important to uphold. That's where, unless you prepare the patient very fantastically, they won't have the faith in you. And to uphold the faith, you will need to communicate to them what is the expected outcome of this process. And that comes from experience, and most of the things are mentioned in the website also. So I should use at least one example, if not all the indications before. This gentleman is from New Zealand, and I put the word gout. When is the next puncture? And I think I have already spoke this in last session, but I have to repeat. There is no other option. He was having a very severe situation, and all the basti is done and Lepana is done, nothing happening. Then I said, so there's one treatment that is seemingly medieval age, but then it is very fantastically going to give you result. He said, nothing doing. So then I said, oh, fine, we'll try with Lepana and Dharas and Dashmula Dhara and Shira Dhara and all done, nothing happening. And I was wondering, the amount of Dashmula is being spent so much, the amount of gas stove is getting so much, and the result is not happening proportionately. The time is lost, the faith is getting for a toss. So I said, boss, so what's the plan now? Because when you're really upset with the patient, you call him boss or darling. I do that. To the men, I call boss, and ladies, I call darling. Because you really lose your control because they don't agree to your plans. Right? So I said, boss, what's the plan? He said, okay, do it. He said so because even the closet, the toilet, he was not able to flush himself. So it was quite a difficult situation that to flush, he had to call my staff. So he thought, chalo, it's too much. And then I said, okay, fine. Did on his left hand. And 10 minutes later, he says, doctor, when are we doing the other side? So that is the impact. And within 10 minutes, somebody who was so resistant and aversive to Siravedam said, when is the next puncture? This is the impact. And this impact we don't find in allopathy to the best of my knowledge. So this is how we have to format the psyche of our public, that there are some areas which we are very strong and we can do better. Of course, this doesn't discount all the Kshira Bastis that need to be done, doesn't discount the Pathyas, doesn't discount long-term use of Manjishtadi Kashayam or Rasnarandadi, no discounting that. But the first impact, like Virendra Sehwag, first ball chakka or first ball chauka. A short break, I mean, this is just to communicate to you that in long term, if you ever log into my website, this one topic, Kuti Pravishika Rasayana, I have done some things and I'm happy to share with everyone. We can always think about it. If you log into the website, you'll have details, because I strongly feel this is also one big potential area that our doctors need to get into. That's my feeling. And this is why I thought, more than narrating my CV or my achievements, what matters is how I am useful to you. It doesn't matter what my profile is. All that matters is how I am useful to you. So this is why I thought I will just mention. Again, I'm putting it here. I mean, imagining some of you may have joined now. I will rush through it, but I think it is pretty much the same number of people. I just want to make sure that nobody is missing on this one, how it is used. So it's nearly the same number of people, 200 constant, at least in Zoom. I don't know what is the score in YouTube. But then I'll just forward it faster just to tell you that these things are there. Just a matter of 20 seconds, I will run through that. So all these things are there. So when I started doing all this, I did not have the website. And I thought it's important we propagate the science as much as it was possible. And that was the best payback to my mentors. And I said that let us get this website in such a manner that nobody has to have this much of troubles of being wondering, what can I do with Siravedam if I have to do it? So I think we'll just skip this off. You know that something is there, and let us go forward. I'm trying to change across, not getting the screen. How do I change the screen? Okay, right. Thank you. So again, we get to the next slide. Not many is there, but I'll just make sure that, I just want to make sure that there is a situation of the different sites involved. This is a very specifically radiating pain in cervical spondylosis. When the patient, what they typically say is that they say, again, I hope this teaching to Dr. Ravi Shankar Parvai, he was telling me that whenever there is a radiating pain, that's the best indication for, you call it Grudrasi, you call it Vishwachi. The radiating pain, the best response is this kind of, and I just want to show you a shot of the location from where the blood is taken. But what most people typically say in the government dispensary, at least, I've seen the patients telling me, Doctor, I vedana verumondallo. Ee ñarambella ingane pongi verum. Pinne vedana korayumbella ange taannu povum. Now, they say typically that this is a beautiful way they tell that. Doctor, when the pain is intense, the vein just pops up so much. And when the pain subsides, it just gets down. And they even typically say, I feel so itchy and tempted to take a blade and just scratch my vein. This is so honestly and so dil se. The person, the patient, they say from like very much from the heart that if I could just puncture that vein, but no, I don't want to do it because I don't know if it is right. This is what they typically say. So when the body chilla raha hai, cheekh raha hai, are yaar ganda khoon ko nikalo. So why should our doctors wait for it? Let us go for it. This is my idea from this. Again, another example, the needle ejected out after 2010 July. And why 2010 July? Obviously, it is a visit to Dr. Ravi Shankar Parvaji, sir. And this is my staff in the government dispensary. You know, we have a system where we call like the medical officer, pharmacist, attender, part-time sweeper. This is how the organizational, this chart of a institution of dispensary in Kerala, Ayurveda Circle, government. So a patient of mine, she like in the sense, not exactly patient, but she's my staff too. So she was on eczema and whatever, on Jishtadi, Padoladi, all things, Vilwadi, Kaishwar, all everything being done, Abhipatti, that it reached a stage where I said, no, you meet the same staff almost every day except her weekly of her mine. And then you reach a stage that no, you can't even look at her face because there's no improvement you're making in her life. And then I said, okay, now let us get you treated with my mentor, my DMO. And I refer to my mentor. Of course, some impact happened, but again, not great, unfortunately. And then she was asking me, Sir, itrem work Siraveda ka cheyyunalle, ende enta edukate. So when she asked me, thankfully, it was somewhere in August. So I had gathered some experience by the time to do how to do, etc. And I found relief in patients also. This staff of mine is a witness to what is happening in the dispensary because I was doing myself directly without any support and without any government order those days and times. It was not kind of a government ordered process. Later, we got the government order for that. And you won't believe it. That's why I used the word. I mean, even the needle came out. That's why I meant. I mean, blood is coming out, obviously. Even the needle came out. To the extent that the person, she said, Saranda itranalati cheyataidu. And itran korovu kittiyallo. Reaching and so many things. You know, obviously, how can I say to her that and the ponnu sister, Saranda boy pinai padichadu. How can I say that? Right? No. So I said, no, you know, sister, there's something called samprapti and there is some this and that academic jargons I utilize. I quickly just evaded that question any further because I knew if I had learned it before July 2010, I would have long proposed that idea and done it. So I really wish that it doesn't happen to most of you young doctors who are in this. Again, you have some people presenting like that, that the frothy and this, just to give it a feel of different kind of blood, actually. I'll come to some bad examples too. Bad example one. I mean, you know, these are the initial days of doing it in the government service. I mean, do it, boss, do it with some elegance and some glamour. Anyway, you're doing something very great, which is greatness of Ayurveda, if not yours. So why don't you use a very decent, maybe a white sheet, white paper, instead of using a damn old newspaper that you see there. So it's not looking very nice. And if a patient is those days and times, there was not much of smartphones, etc., for the patients to take picture, etc. Thankfully, otherwise they will take in a picture and put in Facebook and say this doctor bloody doesn't even have. Sorry for my language, but that's what they may say. That he doesn't even have a proper etiquette or the elegance of what he does. So I really hope the mistake I made, not in the process, but the way it is presented. This is not how it should look like. You should have a very plain everything. But the fact is, I was doing it single-handedly and I was doing the government setup in a dispensary OPD level. It's not easy to manage the OPD and do all these things also. So I was on the learning process and I thought, okay, let us keep doing it irrespective. So Grathitam, as you can see, I mean, it is so interesting to see that many times exactly like textbook picture and all those slokas we listen or rather study about, the bad blood, the dushta by the vata or the pitta or the kapha, that so It's like a textbook picture you find when you do it. And when you show these bloods to the patients, they also have a good feeling. Like from all my body, all the toxins are gone out. That's the kind of feeling they have. And that's a good psychological part of healing too. Again, a bad example, Cartier is there and NISA is there. So that's not the right way. I mean, you better have a decent background when you keep the the kidney tray. But you can see the darkness of the blood so much so, and it's all actually happening. And somebody like a monk, nearly Gairigam, nearly if not exactly. But this is also something that is happening. So when we are in this process, let us have another video, because we are 35 already and just 6 more slides before I hand over. I really wish that by 9 o'clock is handed over to Parvaji sir, because I mean, you will be greatly profited by the questions that are coming. Sir would be answering, and that would be a great learning for all of us. So let me take another example of, this is where I hope it is clear. And sometimes you lose the, I'll come into it later. You can see the vein is prominent. It is straight. So it comes. The reason I thought I should show you at least one limb, you saw my upper limb and you saw a lower limb of somebody, and the site is very evident and very clear cut. The reason is that many of the times the blood may not come. That is something that we have to be very precise about, because we may promise blood is coming, but doesn't necessarily mean it is coming, and that may lead to embarrassment. And I've had situation where what I would call as commenting to the patient that I'll do my best, but I don't vouch that blood is coming. And I've had people have pricked 7 times and the blood came. Thankfully, we'll come to this break later. Thankfully, if you are a bit senior in the government service, the patient believes that it is his or her fate or situation that the blood is not coming. But if you're a beginner, that's opposite. It's a mistake of the beginner. So this is a tricky area. And I have had even situations where the needle was corrupted. The lumen was totally obliterated. Factory problem. I understand it's a factory problem. But that doesn't mean that you can open it and put water through it, because that idea of sterile or unused won't be impressive for the patient if you do that. But it has also happened that the blood is not coming. You see the blood started, but then because there's an obliterated factory-made fault, and then that's gone for a toss. These things are always a possibility. And if I use the previous video, as you saw in that, the vein has to be always very straight, the riju, that has to be there. And many times you don't even have the electricity working in your government setup, and then you need a torch to make sure that you're hitting the right place, puncture the right place. And most importantly, please make sure that you very clearly narrate to the patient, I cannot promise you how much blood will come out. Your body decides how much to bring out, and your body will decide how much not to bring out. And very commonly found, if somebody is fainting, the blood letting also stops automatically. So this is how we find it, because fainting is always a possibility. So the preparation of the person, the entire process revolves around your preparation of how to deal with that situation, even during and after. That's very important. So, I mean, this again, a short break before we'll wind up in next 2-3 minutes. I'm already into something, doing my best to get into a newer domain and a newer area of work for our doctors. I mean, that is an integrated approach of oncology. And I did realize in these many months and weeks and years that from the oldest oncologist, practicing oncologist in India, maybe the world, is 91 years old, Dr. C.P. Matthew. You would have seen him supporting Ayush in a big way, big support of Ayush. And what all teachings he has for us, his experiences would be shared through the AMI platform for all of us, because there's a huge amount of work that we can do, and we can help the society in a better way in many, many conditions. So, I mean, I'm just showing that screenshot of the channel that's already on, and many of you would have seen on a regular basis. The integrated approach, it's very, very useful. That's one more domain where our people can get nothing to do with bloodletting, nothing to do with this specific topic. But I thought when we all grow, when we all learn, let us learn and prosper together and grow together for the greater benefit of our society and, of course, for our nation. But this example, 4-in-1 color, it's very interesting for many people to present such kind of, I don't know from where this kind of blood thing comes to them. This lady, she was in menopause and a lot of body heat and a lot of other issues of the skin, multiple system. She has conditions in degenerative manner, multiple set of diseases she had same time, and on top of the diabetic and high cholesterol on top of that, and hypertensive also, she's using antihypertensive. But I've never found a blood like this, 4-in-1 color. I don't know how much shades more may come in our life to see. Why I'm telling you this is that sometimes the patients are a bit disappointed about the blood they see in their own blood that comes out. So if you could just show different kind of photos, and all of them are uploaded in my website. You can take a printout, you can make whatever you want out of it. It's all yours. It's not mine. Then the patients get a huge variety of awareness that, okay, this is also a possibility. Otherwise, they keep debating with you for many things. This is just a patient preparation aspect. Again, it's just a shot to tell you, in some cases, you really feel that yellowish tinge in the blood. And I think we'll skip through this because, it's less than 200 people now. It was 199 before, so I think we'll just skip. It was just to show how you can use the website. Already shown there in the video anyway. And I would never complete my session till I express my gratitude and thankfulness. I won't call him a specialist. I would call him super specialist in Kerala in Anushastra. I think my dear senior, Dr. Sadat Detton had exaggerated my profile. I nowhere qualify to what he has mentioned about me. Definitely not. I would lead those, entire thankfulness for being my mentor, being a great senior. I put his number here. Anyone who wants to approach him. For me, he is my hero, and so is Dr. Ravi Shankar sir, Parvaji sir. They are my heroes. Actually, they are the ones who should be taking this class, but I thought things as simple as basic as this, I better do it. And for the most important session of this is now coming from Dr. Parvaji sir himself. But before that, I think let us make sure we complete. It's 9:03. It's exactly an hour almost. I got into it. Let us use one more video that was kept here anyway, and then I will call it my time is over. This is that patient. Sometimes what happens, you may not really get the vein the way you want it, and even though the text has specific mentionings of where to prick. It's a long one. I will go through it forward. I'll go through forward. I think it's 8 minutes, but let us just take the prick point. I took the straight one. Sometimes a bit of calculation is needed. It comes like a fountain. If the pain is very severe, we find that what we describe as the gush is also very fast. Yeah, that tensed and the tortuous one and straight one is what we need. And most of them are released by night. I'll forward it. Let us save time. We don't have to watch the entire one. But you see the kind of blackishness. Such a hell of pain he was, and the typical Vata factor to it too. Like a coal tar. Some of the bloods are like coal tar. It stops of its own. He was from USA. And this is a video that went nearly 2 lakhs. I'll just forward that. It stops of its own. You have that frothiness a bit. It will stop of its own. I'm just forwarding it. Done. We are done with that. why I'm telling you this is that if a patient is asking how long the blood will keep coming up, the only thing we can answer, God knows, because it's so variable. On top of that, we have a very tricky situation. I was once told by Dr. Padmanabhan sir that he did have somebody in whom the lymph was coming out, like situation, the straw color, like, you know. So the reason is that you cannot promise to the patient that blood is the thing that's always coming out. You cannot say how much time it will come out. You can't say the quantity per se, but you can say, boss, look, if it is 100 plus, it is decent. 180 would be great. We don't have to necessarily reach 360. And also we can always tell them that relief is very important. And the last thing I would say in this is that please be very sure, if I can do it, you can do it much better than me. You have more things in the web and the internet already supporting you. You have the entire list of case sheet, checklist, everything there. You can make it look very professional. And at this point, when I finish my last sentences, I'm so grateful to all those patients who entrusted their health to me and this procedure to me. I was doing it new, like a novice. The situation I was learning, I was practicing. And of course, I made sure that none of the patients were charged anything. I made sure that all the expenses I was taking care of. I had my academic interest. They allowed me to shoot the videos, everything they allowed. So grateful to them. Whatever we do, we need to have that thankfulness to these patients because they give us all the confidence and the clarity. Very, very important. So I think we'll call it a day from my side. There are about 26, I think, chats there. And now the most important part of this is Dr. Ravishankar Parvaji, sir. Sadatan, I think I'm all yours now. So I think let sir come into the picture.
Hello, still good. And there are some queries, and we'll go into the question answer session after Parvaji sir's class. Is it fine?
Yeah, it's actually Parvaji sir is answering for all of us. Actually, that is how it is. So we want the most authentic. I will be also very glad to learn many things now. That's my So sir would be answering for all of us.
Okay. So we'll go to the sir.
Welcome, sir. Welcome from all of us.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Very much for me.
Very nice. So thank you very much.
We are doing this because of you, sir.
Thank you. So what I have to talk?
I think Dr. Vijayanath would, sir, raise the specific curiosities, and then Dr. Vijayanath will take over the entire discussion now.
Okay.
Sir, I hope you heard Dr. Srijit's discourse. Hello.
Yeah.
Ravishankar sir, good evening. I hope you had heard Dr. Srijit's discourse on rectal motion. He has inspired a generation.
Yeah. Definitely.
So we would like to hear from your side, because you never need an introduction. You are definitely one of the most reputed clinicians, surgeons in South India, and moreover, you are not a guest to us. You are a family member to the AMI, because not only today, whenever we have called you, you are accepted our invitation and shared your knowledge with us, and you were the resource person of the Ayurcan seminar and also the training program. So AMI is always grateful to you. So we would like to hear from you a few words, sir, on
Thank you.
Procedures.
Yes. Thank you. So for last 1 hour, Dr. Srijit has given an excellent presentation. I think I am learning many things from my students also. So
No.
It is very nice to learn these things. One thing I will tell something, then you can ask some questions. Okay. He told where it should be done and how it should be done. Now I will tell where it should not be done. Okay, that's very important for a clinician. So number one, Sushruta said it is contraindicated in Pandu Roga. Very severe anemia is there. Even though patient may be indicated for Raktamokshana, but patient is very severe anemic, Pandurogi. And another thing is when Sarvanga Shopha is there. These 2-3 conditions, you should not do Raktamokshana as a Sarvanga Vyadhi. And sometimes there are in Sushruta Sharirasthana 10th chapter, there are about 164 conditions are told for Raktamokshana. 164 conditions. In that conditions, whenever he says, whenever there is a Pandurogi and this one Sarvanga Shopi and Garbhidi, in these conditions you should not do Raktamokshana. And another thing is, those who has taken Snehapana without Svedana, we should not do Raktamokshana. And another thing is, those who have undergone Vamana and Virechana, if you have not completed Samsarjana Krama, then also you should not do the Raktamokshana. These are the conditions when you should not do. And when we should do it is, I think it is already told in textbook, you will learn it. The very interesting thing for Raktamokshana is, see, many Vatavyadhis are told for Raktamokshana. Why these Vatavyadhis are done for Raktamokshana? See, once I was visiting one very good Ayurveda college. There professors of Kaya Chikitsa and Panchakarma, they used to ask me, you see, if you do Raktamokshana, there will be Dhatukshay occurs, Vata Buddhi occurs. But how you are doing this Raktamokshana in cases of Vata Vyadhi, how it is useful? This is a very interesting question. Even if you see the Sushruta Samhita, he says Grudrasi, Vishwachi, many other conditions, Vata Rakta, these are all Vata Vyadhis are told for Raktamokshana. Why he has told for Raktamokshana? Then here, that is why as a Ayurveda students and Ayurveda doctors, you should know, you see, how this Vata Prakopa has occurred, that you have to diagnose in every case. How this Vata Prakopa has occurred. Vata Prakopa can be Dhatukshyat Kopo Margasya Avaranena Cha. Vata Prakopa can be by Dhatukshaya Vata Prakopa or by Avaranat. This Avarana may be Kapha, Pitta, Rakta Avarana. These are many Avaranas are there. Specifically, whenever a Ekadeshaja Vyadhi is there, like Grudrasi, Vishwachi, etc., in these conditions, Sushruta has explained this Raktamokshana and Tvakrogas, many things are there. In these conditions, whenever there is a Rakta Dushti by Vata Pitta Kapha Dvidosha Sanipataja, this Dushita Rakta gets Avarana of Vata Dosha. This Prakupita Vata, when it gives rise to these diseases like Vishwachi, Grudrasi, etc., in such conditions, this Rakta Mokshana should be done. That's what he says. So usually, most of the diseases occurs due to Rakta Avarana, Vata Prakopa. If you see the Sushruta Samhita, Nidhanasthana, he has very clearly explained. Number one is Runashotha. It always occurs due to Rakta Avarana, Vata Prakopa. In these conditions, you have to do Rakta Mokshana. Whenever there is a Runashotha, you have to do Rakta Mokshana. Because always occurs due to Rakta Avarana, Vata Prakopa. Then leading to Runashotha. So most of the diseases what we see day-to-day practice, they are all due to Runashotha, or you can call it as by inflammatory disorders. Then very interesting thing is, even though it occurs due Raktavarana, Vata Prakopa leading to different diseases, there are two conditions he contraindicated. That is, one is Bhagna. Bhagna is Abhigata, Raktadushti, Raktavarana, Vata Prakopa. In this condition, you should not do Rakta Mokshana. He has contraindicated. Another condition, contraindication is for a Pakshaghatha. even though it is occurred due to Raktavarna Prakopa, these two conditions, one is Bhagna and another one is Pakshaghata. These two conditions he has contraindicated. So in all other diseases, wherever Raktavarna Vata Prakopa leading to different diseases like Vatarakta or Amavata or different skin diseases, different Vata Vyadhis like Gridasi, Vishwachi, Ardita, etc. Many diseases are told, and even fever also. Jwara also indicated for Rakta Mokshana. Recently, in some of my students in northern side of Karnataka, they are practicing this Rakta Mokshana for COVID patients. Very interesting thing. After doing Rakta Mokshana, even though patient had SpO2 below 85 to 90, after doing Rakta Mokshana immediately, his SpO2 went up by 95 SpO2. And patient recovered dramatically by doing Rakta Mokshana. Specifically, they have done Siravyadhana. That is why I am telling many of them are studying from here how to do Rakta Mokshana. Probably I am learning many things from them in back. So when we spread the knowledge, it comes back again. Like this, these are many things. So these things I have shared now with you, when you should not do, when we can do. And anyhow, I have not told to present any this PPT presentation. I have given an extemporary lecture. I think already Srijit has explained very nicely all these things, practical aspects. So if you have any questions, I think you can ask and I will try to answer it. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. There are some queries in the chat box, sir. So shall we move to those questions?
Definitely.
And has anyone raised his or her hand to ask the question? We'll give an opportunity first for them. I don't see anyone in my chat box. So we'll go into the queries. One is by Dr. Ramya has asked, can we do this in cancer patients or any patya to follow before and after that? In any way, 2 questions she has asked. And one more person has also asked, can we do that in cancer patients? What is the precaution we need to take or the patya that has to be prescribed?
Yeah, obviously all the patients has to be prepared properly. You do investigation, you diagnose, is there a Pandu is there, anemia is there, that has to be, you should avoid. And before doing the procedure, you have to do Prabhuta Matra Dravasnigdha Yavagu. If you give Prabhuta Matra Dravasnigdha Yavagu, then Dushita Rakta, Dushita Doshas come to Rakta. When you do Siravyadhana, all Dushita Rakta along with the Doshas come out. And after the procedure, even though you are removing Dushita Rakta, along with that Agni also comes out. So that there may be Agni Mandya leading to Vata Prakopa. That is why he says to give Deepana Pachana Dravyas like Madipala Rasayana or Shunti Paka. These things you have to give, or Punarno Mandura. These things you have to give after the procedure. So this is very important. And if Rakta has not come in that particular time, again in evening or next day also you can do. Or if then also if Rakta does not come properly, then you do Snehadi Kriya for 1 month. After 1 month again you can try. If that is definitely indicated condition. This is the thing for indications. And in cancer patients, if there is as such, cancer cannot be cured by Rakta Mokshana. If there is very severe pain, a Raktavarana Vata condition is there with severe pain, Vyadehe Vega Parikshaya. Vyadis Vega Parikshaya can be done by Rakta Mokshana. But don't think Rakta Mokshana itself is a treatment. After that, you have to give treatment for Vata dosha and other doshas has to be treated after. I don't think cancer, Rakta Mokshana is a primary treatment of cancer. I think I have answered the question.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
In Kerala, we have seen a practice that the clinicians they give palkanji, that is the Kshira Yavagu, prior to the as a Purva Karma to the Rakta Moksha. So, what is your opinion on that, sir?
Definitely, Dravasnigdha Yavagu means in Yavagu, if you put Kshira, it becomes Nigdha. Kshira and Grita you put and give. That has to be done. That is a very important thing you have to do.
One query from Green's Ayurveda. It is a query with regard to the what you call the ethics, I think. So, how do you dispose the blood is the question. I think the person who has shot the question, he wants to know the methodology and also the rules behind that. How to dispose the blood?
No, just you disinfect it and dispose it, throw it out, or you can bury it or throw to the drain with the disinfectant. That has to be done. After that only you can give by mixing chlorination and usually we do chlorination. Chlorine is put with the water. Then after 30 minutes you dispose it. That's what we have to do.
Then in one question by Dr. Sanjay is that can in Kushta, especially they are told to do the repeat the Rakta Moksha after 15 days gap. Pakshat. That sloka is there, no sir. So he's asking about that. Depending on the gravity of the disease, can we do it?
Yeah.
So that is a question.
No, I think that shloka pakshe vamanam mase virechanam, not for Rakta Mokshana. Once you do Shiravedana, then if proper Shiravedana has occurred, then it should be done after 6 months, not once in 15 days. But for Jalavka, you can do once in 15 days or once in a week. Because in Shiravedana, you are removing so much quantity. You should not remove another Rakta Mokshana for another 6 months. That is the limitation. And if Rakta has not come properly in the first sitting, after 1 month you can do again for removing a complete dosha. So, and pakshe vamana and mase virechana, that can be done. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Then two people have the same query. If the patient is taking blood thinners, is it possible, or what is the precaution we need to do?
That can be done. That is not a problem at all. With blood thinner also, you can do Rakta Mokshana. After about 250, 300 ml, it stops by itself. I have seen, definitely. But the only thing is, if a patient is taking warfarin, it is better to avoid Rakta Mokshana because blood never stops. And if a patient is taking Clopidogrel or your Ecosprin, definitely you can do that. It's not a problem at all.
Okay, sir. Now, another query is with regard to the Purva Karma. In any condition, we need to do Snehana or Swedana is a question.
Yeah. If a patient comes with this very severe pain or severe disease condition, already there is a dosha uklesha is there. When dosha uklesha is there, no need of Snehana, Swedana and after that doing Rakta Mokshana. If dosha is not in uklesha avastha, then you have to do Snehapana. Samyak Snigdha you get 18. Then you do Swedana Karma for another day. Then you do the after Swedana you give Dravasnigdha Yavagu. Wait for Shatamatra Murta Kala, that is 48 minutes. Then you have to do the Sthanika Abhyanga Sweda, get to Uttita Sira and do the Rakta Mokshana. That is the way how you have to do. That has to be done like that.
Another query by Dr. Valsala Devi is it effective in Hodgkin's disease?
Hodgkin's disease. No, if I don't think it is that much effective. But if there is a Rattavarnavata condition like severe pain and Sparshadvesha, then for that symptom can be reduced. For disease, you have to give the treatment afterwards.
Yeah. And the query is that in Prameha, do we need to resort to any precautions before the Rakta Moksha with the Prameha Rogi is having some condition like eczema or varicosity.
Yeah, no, you can do the Rakta Mokshana directly, no problem. You can do it. For that particular condition, you can do, but for Prameha cannot be cured by Rakta Mokshana.
That's not the question. The question is in the Prameha Rogi, what is the precaution we need to practice?
I understood. In Prameha Rogi also, you do the Snehana, Svedana and Rakta Mokshana can be done. Only thing is, when you do Sarvanga Sveda, you have to give lighter Sveda, not Sarvanga Kuti Sveda you should not give. Only light type Drava Sveda can be given. That's what you have to do. That precaution you have to take. Yeah.
And the question from Dr. Gopakumar into Tremendum is in migraine. In migraine, is it effective? Or do you have any experience in doing it for migraine?
Yeah, migraine definitely it gives excellent result. I think one is Rakta Moksha, one is Agni Karma. In Agni Karma also, we will get excellent result in migraine. Immediately, this pain goes. That can be done. Rakta Mokshana also gives excellent result. But only thing is that these results are temporary. For that Vata dosha, you have to give treatment afterwards. You don't think Rakta Mokshana is 100% result. It is a Vyadehe Vega Parikshaya. Vyadis Vega Parikshaya will occur. After that, for Vata dosha, you have to treat by Shamana Vishadi or Shodhana by Basti Karma you have to do. Then only you can get a permanent result. So, by fancy of Rakta Mokshana, getting that such a tremendous result, don't go behind it without doing that Vata Shamana or Shodhana Chikisa afterwards. That is my advice for all the participants here.
Sir, in migraine, what is the site to perform Rakta Moksha, sir?
That is in the Murdha Sthana. By Kukuta Bandha is there. By that there will be prominent vein will be there in Lalata Pradesha. Then there you have to do the Siravedhana. Immediately blood gushes out, his pain comes down. I think some migraine patients, you can see engorged veins on their face. There itself you can do the Rakta Mokshana. Immediately patient gets result. That's what you can do.
Okay, sir. And the query is there any upper age limit for this procedure?
For Siravedha, 70 years the maximum age. And 16 years is the lowest age. In between you can do. After 70 years, Siravedha is contraindicated, but other Rakta Mokshanas like Jalavaka, Shringa, Alabu, these things can be done. But result is less when compared to the Siravedha. Because Sira is Sarvanga Shodhini and Shringa, Alabu, Jalavaka is Ekadeshaja Vyadhis. In Shringa, about 10 angula area Rakta can be removed. Alabu, about 12 angulas. And Jalavaka, Hastamatra area. Whenever disease is Gambhira, that is, if it is superficial, Tvakrakta Mamsa, you have to give Shringa, Alabu and Jalavaka. When it is Gambhira, deep-seated, Madhyama Rogamarga and Abhyanta Rogamarga, always you have to do any dosha, Ekadeshaja, Jalavaka, Sarvangaja, Siravedha.
Another question is the varicose veins. There are two questions. One is that what are the structural changes that occur after the Rakta Moksha, and how to select which Rakta Moksha, which type of Rakta Moksha is to be done in varicose veins?
Varicose vein always you have to do Siravedhana because it is more than Hastamatra. If area is less than Hastamatra, you can go for Jalavaka. If it is more than Hastamatra, then you have to go for Siravedhana. That is why in Sushruta he says Siravedhana, not Jalavaka, Dashamula, Kashaya Basti and other drugs he has told. But he has indicated Siravedhana itself because it is more than Hastamatra area. He knows varicose vein occurs whole leg. Then you have to go for Siravedhana. Should be done. And I think you will not get any structural change with the Rakta Mokshana. Only functionally you get the relief. Pain will be relief. But by modern advancement technology, what we know, there is anatomical change in valves are weakened. That cannot be corrected by Siravedhana. but that pain and discoloration in skin and that dushtaruna, these things can be cured by doing Rakta Moksha. Because Dushita Rakta is removed, definitely. Once in 6 months, you have to do the Rakta Moksha. There you get a very good result. Patient can continue his living without surgical approach. But when patient comes in initial stage, first stage of varicose vein, many patient comes in that stage. If you do Sirayudha and after that if you do the Bastikarma as told in Sushu Samhita, I think you can reverse the pathology then and there itself. Before that damaging the valves, if patient comes in initial state, when there is a increased pressure and there is a slight very minimal structural damage is there. I think if you do this procedure, Sirayudha and Bastikarma, definitely you can reverse the pathology and patient can be cured. That is when patient comes in initial stage, ladies comes in below 35 years, I think you can do. But they come after 50 years with all engorged veins, the structural change cannot be corrected with the Sirayudha.
Sir, to add to the above query, some people they come with the Doppler report which states that the perforators are occluded. Or okay, so after doing the Rakta Moksha, is there any vascular changes occurs in the, especially with regard to the perforators, not with regard to the main bowel mechanism?
No, no, it will not happen. Structural change will not correct. Yeah.
Sir, 2 questions with regard to the whether it can be done in Pada Daha. One query is there. Another is Pada Shofa. Pada Shota.
Yeah, no, the thing is why it has occurred, you have to see. If it occurs due to a Pada Daha, due to Dhatukshaya, degeneration of nerve, it will not help. But it occurs due to some inflammatory change, that is Runashota causing this one, Pada Daha, like Gridrasi, then definitely it will help excellently. Then Shop also, when there is Avarana condition, it works excellently. But Dhatukshaya, like degenerative chances or a congestive cardiac failure Shop or some other Shopas, it will not help. But by any inflammatory conditions like Runashotha is there, definitely it will help. That is what I am saying. Whenever there is a Rakta Avarana is there, you can find out there is a Sparshadvesha, definitely it will work. When it is Dhatukshayaja, there is no Sparshadvesha with these conditions, it will never work. I hope this is very diagnostic sign. Any practitioner in his clinic, if touches the area, there is a tenderness, Sparshadvesha is there, you do Rakta Moksha, immediately you get result. If touch, there is no pain at all, there is a condition, if you do Rakta Moksha, it will not work. I hope it is very easily any Vaidya can diagnose and give the treatment. Yeah.
Okay, then one more query is that to stop the nasal bleeding, where should we do Rakta Moksha?
For?
To stop nasal bleeding.
No, by Rakta Moksha it cannot be stopped.
Then sir, one more query is that do we need to do Amapajana prior to Rakta Moksha?
No. You are removing the Ama directly. If you are doing Snehana, then you have to do Amapachana, Deepana Pachana. But here you are directly removing, already Utleshita dosha is there. You are either you do Amapachana means Shamana Vishadi. But here doing Shodhana Chikitsa, you can do directly, no problem.
Another query is it effective in urticaria, Sirayudha, or where to do? If it is effective, where to do?
Sometimes it helps, not in all urticaria. Sometimes it will help. When there is a Rakta Dushti and causing these conditions, definitely it will work. If there is no Rakta Dushti, only superficial, then it will never work. That you have to find out how it works. Only Rasa Dushti is there, it will not work. But Rakta Dushti is there, it will work.
And what about in varicocele? That is another question, sir. In varicocele.
Varicocele. In varicocele, I think temporarily you can get some result, but permanently you will never get result. That's what it will help. It will not help permanently. Better to give the Shitala Chikitsa in a varicocele by applying Shatadauta Gruta. You get better result than Rakta Moksha. But as a temporary measure, you can do the Rakta Moksha in that area only. Instead of doing Siravedana, you can do Jaloka in that area because it is less than Shatamatra, Hastamatra area. Localized, you can do Jaloka. That gives result.
Sir, one more doubt is that, sir, as you told earlier, in the Susra Samhita, Siraveda Vedi, there are many diseases, many sites that have been mentioned. For example, in Yagrit Vikara, they have told to let out the blood from the Dakshina Bahu, that is the right side arm, right arm. And in the Pliha Vikara, they have asked to let the blood from the left arm. Similarly, in Apasmara, Hanusandhi. So we might feel that these are a little bit exaggerated conditions, but have you got any experience? For example, in fatty liver, does Rakta Moksha help?
Definitely.
Or,
I know. I have treated some cases of this one, fatty liver or cirrhosis of liver, a pliharuddhi or yakrut vruddhi. Then I have done Rakta Moksha in right hand or in left hand. Naturally, you get result, definitely. In especially I have done in yakrut vruddhi, a fatty liver and other liver disorders, wherever it is indicated. Then I did the Rakta Mokshana in Yakrat Rogas in the right hand. And in some Shiro Vikaras, I did Rakta Mokshana in Lalata area. And for Apasmara, I did not do any Rakta Mokshana till now. I did not do, because the understanding the result is very difficult in Apasmara. It comes once in a while. We can't do whether it is due to your treatment or something else. And there are other areas are told 2 angula above Kshipramarma and 4 angula below or above this one. This that is a specific area he told. Then you have to do the Rakta Moksha in that area. Then only you get the result. That's always I follow according to Sushruta's indications of site about site of the Rakta Moksha.
Now, some question is there any result in trigger finger? Is it advised or do you have any experience?
In trigger finger, you can do the Jaloka. No need of Siravedana. Jaloka or Shrunga. It get slight result. But if there is a degenerative changes, it does not help. But Avarana is there, Sparshadvesha is there, definitely it will help. That's what.
And if you are using a butterfly needle connected to a syringe for bloodletting, what will be the result?
Huh?
If you are using a butterfly needle connected to a syringe for bloodletting, what will be the result?
No. You see, when you connect the syringe and you pull the blood, that becomes Shringa. And Rakta Mokshana of Dashangula area only it will occur. When you put the needle and leave it and allow the Rakta to flow, then only it is Siraveda. Otherwise, it is not Siraveda. It becomes Shringa. You are pulling it. Achushana. Achushana is you are pulling it.
Sir, up to
that is a localized area.
Up to what hemoglobin level can Siraveda be safely done?
Above 9 grams. Above 9 grams. I do usually above 9 grams or 10 grams. Below that, I don't do it.
And in Amavata, sir? In Amavata?
Amavata, definitely. Above 9 gram, 10 gram, I do. Usually, Rakta Mokshana is my first line of treatment. Immediately, patient gets relief from pain. Then we go for Vamana, Virechana and Bastikar. That's what I do usually. They get very fast result. Because Parshadvesha is there, you do the Rakta Moksha. That's all.
Okay, so I don't see anyone raising their hands for the queries. I think if you have, you can ask a few queries to sir directly. So one more query: do you feel that there is any new disease or arena where Rakta Moksha needs to be employed? more, especially in Ayurvedic clinical practice?
Which one?
Any new arena or any disease in which Rakta Moksha need to be employed in Ayurveda practice, especially in Ayurvedic practice, clinical practice.
No,
Have you felt something like that?
No, any disease, whenever there is a Rakta Dushti and a Rakta Avarana Vata Prakopa, in such conditions, you have to do the Rakta Mokshan as a primary line of treatment. What is told in Sushruta, that is nothing like a new disease or old disease. Whenever there is a Rakta Avarana Vata Prakopa and Rakta
I'm not
Dushti is
asking
there.
about a disease. I'm asking a new arena. Something like now 2 questions have been shot up in the chat box. That is in renal disease, or is it beneficial in Stri Roga? A question like that they have shot up. So that's why.
No, sir. Whatever told in Sushruta, whenever there is a Rakta Dushti and a Rakta Avarana Vata Prakopa, then only you have to do Rakta Moksha. Otherwise, it should not be done. Any new disease, new arena. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
I think,
Hello.
Hello. Dr. Shah,
Hello.
please go.
Yes. Sir, very good session. We are really thankful for such session. Sir, I have a question. If cancer patient has undergone the chemotherapy and the surgery as well, for how much, after how much time, the Rakta Mokshan should be done?
No, if there is a Spashadvesha or pain is there, then only Rakta Mokshana can be done. Otherwise, no need of Rakta Mokshana at all in cancer, because Rakta Mokshana cannot cure cancer at all. But after chemo, this one, if there is no anemia, no Panduroga, then you can do Rakta Mokshana. If there is a definite indication of Rakta Avarana Vata condition is there, then you can do the Rakta Mokshana. No problem.
Okay. Thank you.
I hope I have answered you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
you. Please go on with your query. Dr. Mahesh PS, you've raised your
Hello.
hand.
Sir,
Yes.
I have one query. Where in herpes we can do the Rakta Mokshana, whether on the lesion or nearby the lesion?
Herpes zoster, you can use Jalauka because it's a Pittaja condition. Jalauka you can do in that area. Immediately a patient gets relief from pain.
Sir, whether it is on the lesion or nearby the lesion?
On the lesion itself you can do. Because immediately when you put the Jalauka, it sucks the blood from the lesion itself.
And how frequently we can use that Jalauka in that case? If it's a large area.
Yeah, in one application itself, patient gets relief from pain and swelling. No need of again. Jalauka you can do daily. You can do for 2-3 days. No problem at all.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, it gives excellent result, definitely.
One more question has come up in the chat box. In tongue cancer with pain, can we do?
In tongue cancer, if there is a severe pain, that indicates there is a inflammatory changes. That is a Runashota is there along with the growth. For that Runashota part, that Raktavarana part can be reduced by Rakta Mokshana. You in that area you can use Jalauka better than in that lesion itself. You can put the Jalauka. Immediately, patient gets a relief from the pain. Or nearby any area, you can put the Jalauka. Because in face, if wherever tongue is there, nearby area, you can put the Jalauka and remove the Rakta. Jalauka is better than Siravyatha in these conditions. Okay, I have answered. Okay.
Then in alopecia, can we do it? That's another question that has come up in the chat box.
In alopecia also you can do. Actually, it is a Vataja condition. You can do Shrunga is better than all other things. Shrunga, just you do the scratching and put the achushan of Rakta. Naturally, you get the result with Shrunga. Shrunga is better and you can get better result with the Shringa. By Achushana, you can do the Rakta Mokshana. Okay.
In fibromyalgia or in fibromyalgia, that is another query, sir, that has come now.
You see, if there is a Sparshadvesha, definitely you can do. Otherwise, no need of Rakta Mokshana. If you are treating it as a Vatarakta, there is a Sparshadvesha, then you have to do the Rakta Mokshana. Like the Siravyadha, you could do immediately. Patient gets the relief. If patient is having heaviness, numbness, there is no Sparshadvesha, no need of it. If some patients have severe pain and tenderness, these conditions, Sparshadveshas are there, you have to do the Siravyadha, immediately you get result. Heaviness and Sparshadvesha. That is indication for Siravyadha.
In tendonitis, can we use Jaloka? That is another query, sir. In tendonitis.
Definitely, sir. You can do the Jaloka or you can do the Shringa according to dosha. Pitta dosha pradhana, go for Jaloka. Vata dosha pradhana, go for Shringa.
Okay, sir. Now, I think that was a very good session, sir. And you have fruitfully answered all the queries. And I think one Dr. Sanjay Batra, I think he's a friend of Dr. Srijit. He wants to speak a few words, I think so. So Dr. Sanjay, please make it short and sweet. Okay. Hello, Dr. Sanjay. Dr. Sanjay Batra.
I don't know if he's there now. Yeah, he is our senior from the Ayurveda College Trivandrum. I know him very well, but I don't at this moment.
No, he is asking to unmute him.
Okay.
Dr. Rajesh, please unmute Dr. Sanjay.
Great. He has plenty of experience. Yeah. I know that very, very well.
Please unmute Dr. Sanjay.
Hello.
Okay, Dr. Sanjay.
Thank you. First of all, AMAI Kerala, and I am thankful to Dr. Srijit for his nice illustrative practical demonstration and taking fear out of the so many our Ayurveda practitioners are going to start their practice in Panchakarma, and especially they are going to do Rakta Mokshana also. And I am also very thankful from the experience given by Dr. Parvaje sir. I would like to add on this that I have experience. I'm not rightly doing all these things, but previously I have done so much in Rakta Mokshana also, in Panchakarma also. Especially I would narrate the example of in migraine also. I have done Manyagat Rakta Mokshana from jugular vein. There are so many things to be observed while doing to be done before doing Manyagat Rakta Mokshana, because it is a very tricky procedure and need very skillful hand and skillful experience. And certainly it gives very good relief from the acute migraine pain. And second, I will narrate about the experience of pain of the Vatrak, you can say. Actually, the patient have tried almost all the things like Ruksha, Ushna, Snigdha, but he did not get relief. But he was having pain and inflammation at the elbow region. So I gone directly for Rakta Mokshana from cubital fossa. The patient got so much relief that he became lifetime my patient, not only he, but his family and also his nurse. So because Rakta Mokshana is giving very fantastic and very quick results. So patient can connect with you easily and will give you your name, payment, anything, whatever the things that we required in Panchakarma practice. As Dr. Srijit told, that initially 6 or 4 will surely give you so much, you can say, confidence or so much fame and name. So it's very, you can say, very interesting and very effective procedures can be done effectively in our routine day-to-day practice single-handedly. And this is what I have to experience with all of you. And thanks for giving me time. Thanks all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay. So thanks for sharing your experience. Thank you very much. And I hope we wind it up. So I thank Dr. Srijit and Dr. Ravishankar Parvaje sir for making this session very fruitful. So we'll have the next session the coming Saturday, and in the coming week on September 28th Monday and September 30th Wednesday, we have a class on basic radiology prescription and evaluation by Dr. Shamir Thodangal at 8 p.m. So please join us and subscribe to the AMI APTA webinar channel. Okay, thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you.